Hello, and welcome to Easy English. Today I want to share a powerful and emotional story about a boy who refused to quit. This story will help you improve your English through simple and neutral sentences. Listen carefully and enjoy the story. The story of the boy who refused to quit. In a small forgotten village hidden between dry mountains and endless dust, there lived a boy named Poter. The village was the kind of place people left, not arrived at. There were no paved roads, no bright lights, and no promises of a better tomorrow. Life there was simple, but it was also hard. Very hard. Poter was born into a poor family. His father worked as a laborer, carrying heavy loads for others under the burning sun, earning just enough to buy bread for the day. His mother stitched old clothes for neighbors, her tired hands moving late into the night under the dim light of an oil lamp. There were days when food was not enough. Days when hunger sat quietly in their home, like an unwanted guest. Days when hope felt very far away. But Poter was different. Even as a child, there was something in his eyes, something that refused to accept the life he was born into. While other children ran freely through the dusty streets, Poter often sat quietly, staring at the mountains, wondering what lay beyond them. "Is this all there is?" he once asked his mother. She smiled gently, though her eyes carried years of struggle. For some people, yes, but not for those who refused to stop. Those words stayed with him. Poter first discovered his dream in the most unexpected way. One day, a traveling teacher visited the village. He carried a bag full of books, something rare and almost magical in that place. The children gathered around him, curious and excited. The teacher began to read stories of distant cities, great leaders, inventors, and people who changed the world. Poter listened with wide eyes, his heart beating faster with every word. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking, if others can change their lives, why not me? The next morning, he made a decision. "I want to go to school," he told his father. His father looked at him, surprised. "School is far, Poter, and we need you here." "I will still help," Poter insisted, "but I want to learn." After a long silence, his father nodded slowly. "If you are ready for the struggle, then go." Poter didn't fully understand what that meant. He would soon learn. The nearest school was miles away. There was no transport, no easy path. Every morning before sunrise, Poter would wake up, wash his face with cold water, and begin his journey. He walked through rocky paths, crossed dry fields, and climbed small hills. In winter, the cold cut through his thin clothes. In summer, the heat burned his skin. But he kept walking. His shoes wore out quickly. Soon, he walked barefoot. The ground was rough, sometimes sharp, sometimes painfully hot. But Poter never stopped. Each step was a promise to himself. Each step was a battle he refused to lose. School was not easy. Poter had never studied before. Other children knew how to read and write. They answered questions confidently, while he struggled even to understand basic lessons. Some students laughed at him. "Why are you even here?" one boy mocked. "You'll never catch up." Those words hurt, but Poter stayed silent. He studied late into the night, using borrowed books and weak light. His eyes burned, his body ached, but he refused to give up. Then came the exams. Poter tried his best. He wrote everything he knew. He hoped, just hoped, it would be enough. It wasn't. He failed. That day, Poter didn't go home immediately. He walked slowly, his heart heavy, his mind filled with doubt. Maybe they were right. Maybe I'm not meant for this. He sat under a lonely tree near a rocky hill. The wind was dry, carrying dust across the land. Tears filled his eyes. For the first time, he felt like giving up. "What's the point?" he whispered. No matter how hard I try, I fail. As he sat there, lost in his thoughts, an old man approached. His clothes were simple, his face lined with age, but his eyes were calm and wise. "Why are you crying, son?" the man asked. Poter hesitated, then spoke honestly. "I try so hard, but I keep failing. I think I should stop." The old man didn't answer immediately. Instead, he pointed toward a small plant growing between cracks in a large rock. "Do you see that?" he asked. Poter nodded. "That plant has no soil, little water, and no comfort. Yet it grows. Every day it pushes against the rock. Slowly, silently. But it never stops." Poter looked closer. The plant was small, but strong. "Life will test you," the old man continued. "It will push you down again and again. But success is not for those who never fail. It is for those who never stop." Poter felt something shift inside him. A small spark, a quiet strength. "What if I fail again?" he asked. "Then you try again," the old man replied. "And again, and again, until failure gets tired of you." That evening, Poter returned home with a new mindset. He stood in front of his parents and said, "I will not stop, no matter what happens." From that day on, something changed, not in his situation, but in his attitude. And that made all the difference. Time passed. Poter failed again and again. But each failure became a lesson. He improved slowly, very slowly. There were nights when he felt exhausted, days when hunger made it hard to focus, moments when doubt returned like a shadow. But every time he felt like quitting, he remembered the plant. Never stop. He repeated those words like a prayer. Years went by. While others gave up, Poter continued, step by step, day by day. One year something unexpected happened. Poter passed his exams. Not perfectly, but enough. It was a small victory, but to him, it felt like climbing a mountain. For the first time, people noticed. Maybe he can do it, some said. That small belief, from others and from himself, gave him even more strength. He worked harder, he studied smarter, and slowly, his results improved. Opportunities began to appear. A scholarship, a chance to study in a bigger town. A door that once seemed impossible was now open. Leaving his village was not easy, but Poter knew this was the next step. In the city, life was different and even more challenging. The competition was tough. Students were smarter, faster, more prepared. Poter struggled again, but this time he didn't feel defeated, because now he understood something powerful. Struggle is part of the journey, not the end of it. Years later, Poter faced one of the biggest exams of his life. Everything depended on it. He studied harder than ever before. Sleepless nights, endless practice, constant effort. The day of the exam arrived. He walked into the hall, took a deep breath, and reminded himself, I didn't come this far to stop now. He gave everything he had, every lesson, every failure, every moment of pain. It all came together. When the results were announced, Poter stood frozen. He had passed. Not just passed, he had succeeded beyond expectations. Tears filled his eyes. Not of sadness this time, but of victory. Years of struggle had finally paid off. Poter returned to his village, not as a poor boy with a distant dream, but as a symbol of hope. People gathered around him. How did you do it? They asked. What's your secret? Poter smiled. I didn't stop. Poter didn't just change his own life. He built a small school in his village. He helped other children learn. He became the kind of person he once dreamed about. And every time a child felt like giving up, he would take them to that same rock and show them the plant. Life will test you. It will break you, challenge you, and push you to your limits. But remember this, you don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to be the smartest. You just have to keep going. Because the only true failure is stopping. Never stop.